Well, hello there, Aquarius. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are going to be doing your September General Tarot reading. We'll take a look first at the overall energy with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. It does help to get my message out to more people. All right, so let's take a look at your overall energy for this next month. Skunk spirit, know your worth, and fellow travelers, support is all around you. Yeah, I feel like, you could be going through a little bit of a time, and we have like 7 planets still in retrograde. Okay, so there's a little bit of energy of kind of like having, past things coming up. You could be just thinking about things that have occurred in the past, and it's kind of like playing a little bit of havoc with your own confidence, but understanding that there are people in your life that are supporting you as you go through this. But this is a spiritual upgrade, okay? And it can be kind of difficult, especially since we just had the full moon in Pisces. A lot of emotions coming up about situations or things that occurred in the past. But when those are coming up, understanding that it is time to release them. Allow those feelings to come up. Don't brush them under the rug. Recognize them, thank them, and then allow them to be released. This is going to help you to step back into your worth. Okay, knowing how valuable you are, knowing that your creative energy, your gifts, your talents are so important to all of us, and allowing yourself to step fully into your light. Now, I feel like there is a little bit of a sense of having to heal some of this sense of unworthiness because of a situation that you had in the past. So this could be, a relationship where someone kind of undermined your worth, or it could have been a job where people didn't recognize your gifts and your talents. And understanding that that is coming back up. And if you're concerned because you're like, I thought I healed this, I thought this was done, I thought I had moved on from it. Understanding that with all these retrogrades, okay, and the full moon in Pisces, that this is kind of like clearing out any of the remnants of something from the past that may have played a little bit of havoc on your own confidence in yourself, your own sense of worthiness. But allowing yourself to feel those feelings, right? To understand that you're seeing, even if you're kind of like confused, why is this coming up again? And knowing that you're seeing it even at this time, you're seeing it at a much higher level than you did before, Yeah, there is a sense here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're coming into good stuff. You have the yin energy. This is the divine feminine energy of just allowing things and emotions to come up at this time, to recognize, okay, I'm just recognizing them. You don't have to really do anything about it. It's just allowing these emotions to come up so that they can be released. Yeah, because I feel as if we're going to talk about this. See, you have victim mentality on the back, letting go, letting go of things, closing those doors in the past. You see how those 2 doors are kind of like still open, and then the third one is completely open, right? But sometimes we have to allow these emotions from the past. These doors are still open, helping you to recognize, okay? I think part of the message here is that there's still a little bit of healing to be done in this, but it's not a lot, Aquarius. You've done so much healing. It's just allowing these last tidbits to come up, Yes. Okay. Good things are coming to you. You have the Death card, you have the Moon card, you have the Hermit, Temperance, my goodness, Queen of Cups, and the Strength card. Okay, wow. Lots of major arcana here. So let's go through these, because the underlying, okay, is what your subconscious mind is thinking or dealing with. This is also things that are on the horizon for you. So you see the Death card? That means that endings bring new beginnings. But at some point, we have to truly close these doors, okay? We have to end something from the past. This is the situation. I feel like something is bubbling up with all these retrogrades, right? And you're kind of like mulling over it again and trying to rehash it or something like that. It's understanding, no, it's time to really be grateful for whatever occurred in the past that was difficult, that you have closed out a chapter of. Okay, and I feel like it was a while ago because it's retrograde season. It's not something that's ending right now. This is a long time ago. But it's the situation that has been very difficult for you to completely close the door. It's a very emotional situation that occurred in your life. The ending of a marriage or a long-term committed relationship. The ending of a job that you really wanted or a career that you enjoyed, but for one reason or another was put to an end, okay? Something that was difficult, something that you didn't really choose to do, okay? You may have had to walk away from it, but only because it was really difficult. And so I feel like you've hung on to a little bit of that energy. It's time to allow yourself to say, this is over. I'm allowing any remnant feelings to come up. And I'm going to allow them to come up. I'm going to be grateful for everything that occurred in that ending, in that chapter. And then I'm willing to embrace the new. It is a little bit like having to surrender to the journey. Here's the thing, the message I'm getting is that you may have not wanted to close the door completely on whatever this situation is. I don't want to completely close that door. Even if it's painful feelings that you have, okay? I don't want to completely walk away from that situation. I want to keep that door cracked open, even if there are difficult feelings that keep coming up. And the reason is because it holds us back. It prevents us from going forward. And at this time, you don't know what is lying ahead. If you completely surrender to what is on your path as you move forward, it means that you do have to close out the past. And yet closing out the past is closing out something that is familiar in order to go towards something that is unfamiliar. That's what the moon card is. It's our fears of, I don't know what's around the bend. So I'd rather kind of like revisit over and over again something that was difficult, something that kept me down, something that you may feel a little victimized about. This is a kind of a little bit of an energy of recognizing, yeah, it's over. And really kind of being good with it. And then moving forward, knowing that you have the answers inside of you to go forward, you know, with patience, giving yourself patience and grace, compassion as you move forward, understanding that, yeah, you don't know what's going to happen ahead, but as long as you don't allow your fears to overtake you, as long as you listen to your heart, you use your inner wisdom, you are going to be fine. In fact, you're going to be stronger than fine. You're going to have the courage to truly love yourself. You know, it's kind of interesting because they just gave me the message that part of the reason, that you're having trouble closing this door is that when you close the door, you have to completely step into your power of loving yourself for who you are. It's kind of interesting because the message that I'm getting is that as long as you feel like somebody has done you a wrong, has hurt you, and I think somebody really did, then it's almost as if you had a reason to not truly go after what your heart truly desires, to truly love yourself. It's almost like you've allowed this situation to steal your power into stepping into truly loving yourself. This could be even back from childhood. It could have something to do with a parent or the way your parents parented, you know, or competition between siblings or something like that. Understanding that it is time for you to have the strength and the courage to love yourself instead of feeling that since one person or a group of people didn't love you in the past, that maybe you aren't worthy of love, truly worthy of love. So you've been even holding back on living the life that your heart truly desires. It's time to step into knowing your worth, knowing that you can move forward, even though you don't know what's around the bend. You can move forward, and new people will come onto your path. People that truly understand your worth, cherish your worth, love you for who you are, love your loving light, want you to shine brightly. Yes. Oh, so let me go to the present energy. Yeah, they got me sidetracked there. Okay, so with the yang, it's about allowing yourself to allow these energies, these emotions to come up, and to allow yourself to understand that you have the strength and courage to listen to your heart, to love yourself, and to make choices in your life that are in alignment with what your heart truly desires. I feel like you've been making a lot of plans and actions, but you haven't had this sense of fulfillment. And one of the reasons is because it's almost as if you didn't feel like you were worthy of loving yourself enough to make the plans and actions that your heart desires, instead of feeling like you have to, your fears are kind of like making you compromise on what it is that you truly want. Yeah, because you have the sun here. You have the moon and the sun. Understanding that your fears are preventing you. Your fears are making you over-compromise to the point where you're not finding the true happiness that you truly want. This is a little foggy for me. I'm trying to communicate the energy here, but it's a little bit like understanding that even though this person or this situation is no longer in your life, something that ended in the past, right? It's no longer in your life. That energy, that person, that situation is still in the back of your head, telling you that you're not worthy of what your heart truly desires. So once again, this could be from childhood. This could be your parents or your family unit or your society, your culture that created this energy within you that told you you weren't worthy of going after what your heart truly desires, that you had to make choices in your life based on what your family wanted or what society expected of you. But those choices weren't in alignment with what your heart truly desired. So what happens is that you keep attracting in situations that break your heart. And it's almost like proving to yourself, it's subconsciously, this is completely subconsciously, you are choosing situations that will almost prove to yourself that you're not worthy of what your heart truly desires. Wow. So I think that if you are having a hard time, if you're having this energy of coming up, of having things from the past like bubbling up, I feel like that Spirit is wanting you to connect the dots to recognizing that the choices that you may have this sense that I always get hurt. Things never work out for me, right? I'm not worthy of having what it is that I truly want. And I can prove to you that that's true. It's almost like you have a checklist. I can prove to you that I'm not worthy of what it is that I truly want. And yet at the same time, these energies are coming up so that you can recognize that isn't your thinking. That is the conditioning that you received, either as a child or in a long-term committed relationship or just in your life in general, over and over again, attracting in people that were ready to prove to you that you shouldn't follow your true heart. You shouldn't step into the life that your heart truly desires. Now you recognize it. To break that habit, to break out of that cycle takes courage, because it's like you may never have really made choices that were in alignment truly with what your heart truly desires. So now it's almost like, you could be older like me and for the very first time starting to make decisions based on what you truly want and not what somebody in the back of your head is convinced you that you want. Yeah, this is understanding. You have almost like chosen a life of compromising what your heart truly wants in order to keep yourself safe, right? This could have been that, maybe you were getting ready to choose a college major and your parents said, well, we're not going to pay for your college unless you choose a career that we feel is appropriate for you, right? And maybe you wanted a career being a graphic designer or something, and they said, no, that's not traditional enough for us. You need to be either a business major or a teacher or a nurse or a doctor or whatever. And so you compromised. You made choices your entire life, not based on what your heart truly desired, but that would keep you safe, would allow you to truly, oh my goodness, like not feel abandoned and totally rejected. And yet at the same time, you were abandoning and rejecting your own heart. This is understanding, okay, I'm going on this new path of surrendering to the journey that will help me bring in the true happiness that I have been seeking literally for your entire life, perhaps, and never truly finding it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's take a look at your area of resistance, your obstacle. Oh my goodness, look at this. Yes, the Seven of Swords, self-sabotaging yourself because of your fears. Your fears of what has been going on around you. The sense of, if I don't compromise what I truly want. This is a sense of you've been compromising your whole entire life because you're just afraid that if you don't compromise, if you don't make choices. I think Aquarius, you may say, I've been making good choices my whole entire life, right? But have you been making those choices in the confines of what other people around you wanted, society wanted, culture wanted, your family unit wanted, right? It's understanding, okay, I'm breaking free from that. I'm really listening to my own heart. I'm going within, listening to my own heart. And for some of you, I feel as if this is the first time that you're listening truly to your own heart. If you have had a lot of experiences lately of just not feeling very fulfilled in anything that you are doing or in any of the choices that you have been making for some time, okay? Not just like last week, but for some time, you've had this sense of discontentment, okay? That's the Four of Cups. My life is ho-hum. It means that you are compromising. You are compromising to some degree of what your heart truly desires. Yeah, it's about, look at Wheel of Fortune. Destiny is here. It is ready for you for the blessings are ready to come in for you. It's about understanding. I feel like you've been taking action on your whole entire life, taking action on things that you thought were at least good choices, especially subconsciously. Okay, understanding, oh, there's confines, there's rules I have to follow, right? But now you're learning the lesson. You're learning that all of those choices that didn't bring you a sense of satisfaction were just ho-hum, right? The reason that those were ho-hum was because the choices you were making were just a compromise to what it was that your heart truly desired. King of Cups. You have the King and Queen of Cups. Understanding that your heart, your emotions are calling out to you. It's time to make decisions based on what your heart truly desires and not looking at the confines of, what your family wants for you. I mean, it's not about breaking the laws, okay? But it is about understanding I'm making choices based on what it is that I want, even if it means I have to leave a group of people that maybe you love, but at the same time are holding you back from what your heart truly desires. But knowing that once you step onto that path of following what your heart desires, of surrendering to this journey, new people will come in to take their place. New people that are more in alignment with what your heart truly desires. Okay, so let's take a look at what advice you have here. Okay, regeneration. This is you. This is the Phoenix Rising card. This is understanding. You have a new lease on life when you allow yourself to move away, okay, from, the situations, the mindset of that's holding you back from what your heart truly desires, and go towards new connections, new people that will support what it is that your heart truly desires, that won't ask you to compromise, that will allow you to be truly who you want to be, For some of you, I feel like you're moving, literally, physically moving. Yeah, Queen of Wands, having the confidence to go towards, what your heart truly desires, to speak your truth, to share your truth with the world, to build the happiness, the joy, the celebration in your life that you have been missing for some time, right? You've been discontented. You're not going to be discontented anymore. You're going to step into this energy of life is a celebration and I am ready to celebrate. All right, so let's pull a soul truth card for you. And Aquarius, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, am I communicating my needs? I don't think you are. You may not be communicating them to other people. You may not even be communicating them to yourself, right? Because it's as if you've grown up not thinking that your needs mattered that much, okay? It's this energy of recognizing, wait a minute, my needs do matter. My heart desires do matter. I don't have to compromise on that. All right, your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? Yeah. And for some of you, it could be that, I'm trying to get that to focus. If for some of you, it could be that you have never even shared with your family what college major you really wanted, right? Because it was kind of like, you could have been told you had to choose out of this box, right? That, your parents felt was appropriate for you and that they would be willing to pay for your college experience. But understanding, well, wait a minute, I never even maybe had that discussion with them that I wanted to be a graphic designer. Just because graphic designer wasn't in the box doesn't mean that maybe you could have convinced them to allow you to be a graphic designer and they would pay for it. Or perhaps understanding, is there another way you could have paid for your college? Follow your heart, be a graphic designer, and find some other way to have your college paid for, right? It's understanding that I feel like you just kind of were kept in a box for a while, understanding that you compromised a lot of what your heart truly desires based on your upbringing, based on wanting to be safe and secure. Yeah, beautiful energy here, Aquarius, because I think you're truly healing this. You're allowing yourself to shut the door on some situations in your life so that you can go towards what your heart truly desires. All right, I am going to leave it there, Aquarius. I do really wish you so much love and light in this situation and all your situations, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.